We are live. So Dylan and Oliver, can you go off camera for now? Once I'm done presenting Yellowtail Tech, I'm gonna call you for us to have a chat. And Kaloy, can you turn off the music? Um, the tricky part about StreamYard is I never know how many people I have or who's in the chat. So I'm gonna ask everyone who come in to jump on the comments and say hi, um, and let me know where you're calling from. We're gonna start in about 5 minutes. I'm gonna let some people start chiming in. If anyone is here or can hear me, jump on the chat and let me know. Operation Tech Takeover. Welcome, man. Apparently, you are listening from YouTube. Tell us a little bit about yourself. You are from Kentucky. Are you a current student? Are you considering Yellowtail Tech? Tell us a little bit more. Welcome, Kimberla Butler. Anyone who comes in, please chime in. Let us know that you're here. Oh, Kenjay, welcome. Tell us where you are from. What brings you here? Are you a current student? We usually have a few current student in the chat. Let us know you're here. Send us a shout out. But in the meantime, Operation Takeover, Kimberla, Kenjay, let us know why you're here, where you are in the journey. Meaning, have you enrolled already? Are you considering enrolling, or are you just curious about what it is we offer at Yellowtail Tech? Again, we're gonna start in about 5 minutes. Let a few people come in. Welcome, Mangham Senior. You are from Florida, looking to get into tech. All right, good stuff. Kimberly, curious. Okay. Um, don't forget to ask questions as you go. If you have any questions you want us to answer at the end, let us know. Brandy from Maryland, considering enrollment. Brandy, are you already in touch with an enrollment advisor? Desiree is here as well, from Dallas, Texas, wants to enroll. Oh, you already did a 10-minute call with Kim. That's a good first step. Simone 2K, Sean Walker from Texas. You are enrolled and starting in January on January 27th. Can't wait. All right. Um, yes. How long is the program and what's the cost? We're gonna talk about that, Kimberla. We're also gonna give you an occasion to book a 10-minute call with one of our enrollment advisors to give you all the details surrounding financing of the program. Oh, you already spoke to Kim. Okay, so you're already in touch with Kim, Kenjay. All right, good stuff. So today is mostly about just presenting you Yellowtail Tech, talk about who we are. Um, Maybe like twice a quarter, I jump on, I keep it short, I talk about what we do, and I usually try to bring two students, one student who's actively in the process, and one student who's an alumni who went through the program and who's working. Taylor Shank, welcome. you will be starting in January 27. Super excited. I'm excited to have you. So again, anyone who comes in, please come to the chat, say hello, and say where you are calling in from. All right. So I see we have about a handful of people, including the ones that haven't commented anything. The good thing about StreamYard is we are streaming on several platforms. So it's very difficult to keep track of how many people we have at all times between YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and so on. Let me see. We have some new comments. T. Swin from Houston, Texas. M&A from North Carolina. You also starting in on January 27 and excited. All right. How about you, T. Swin? Are you enrolled? Are you considering enrolling? Tell us a little more. All right. Let's begin. So I'm gonna try to keep this whole session under 30 minutes. Keep it short and sweet. Um, the first part of it really is just to introduce the company. Um, Once I figure out how to move the slides, I will do that. Okay, so someone is moving the slide for me. Okay, so at Yellowtail Tech, we are a company that is fairly young. We started in 2014, just trying to find how to really serve the marketplace because it was really my wife and I, my wife specifically, wanting to transition into tech, and myself and my network were able to sit down and help her transition. And then from there we continued helping people for 2 years. And then in 2016 we decided to really package this into a program, into an offering, and offer it to the marketplace. So we formally launched. Can you go back a little bit? We formally launched in 2016. We started mostly, not mostly, we started exclusively with Linux for Jobs because this is our expertise. Linux is our bread and butter. This is what we understand. This is where we put all our focus. Now we have two programs. We are also an AWS official training partner. And we decided, when we realized the people who were attracted to our program were all people with no IT background, we decided to actually focus on people with no IT background. If you go to our website, you're going to notice that we say that we help people with absolutely no IT background or technical degree get their first IT job. And the reason why we focus specifically on people with no IT background is because we realize that when you offer your program to different level of understanding IT, what happens is there is a discrepancy in how people learn, and some people want to move the program faster. Some people need the time. So we realize that focusing and catering to people with no IT background is the best way to go, and this is what we do best. So that's all we do. We focus on people with no IT background. Welcome, Nick from North Carolina, by the way. So let me reintroduce myself. If you don't know who I am, my name is Jubee Vilceus. I'm the CEO at Yellowtail Tech. I co-founded Yellowtail Tech, and I'm responsible for student outcomes, really. And I have, my background is in management information system. I'm a Red Hat certified system administrator as well. So so since 2016, that's all I do is help people transition. So now we have two programs. We have Linux for Jobs and Cloud for Jobs, but our Linux for Jobs is by far our biggest program because we believe even if you want to get into cloud, Linux is the best place to start. So Cloud for Job is mostly a program we encourage that you graduate into, but the best program to start with is Linux for Job. We are also an AWS official training partner. Next slide. We have good reviews on online. I don't want you to take our word for it. Once you get off this presentation, I'd like you to go and Google us, find out what it is the marketplace is telling you about us. We have on average a 4.9 throughout the biggest bootcamp platform, although we don't consider ourselves as a bootcamp, but this is where we keep our reviews. Um, and since 2021, in the middle of the pandemic, we've seen an exponential growth at Yellowtail Tech. We were nominated the fastest growing company in the US 2 years in a row, 2023 and 2024. And we hope to make that list again in 2025. So, what makes us different, really? Besides specifically catering to people with no IT background, what makes us different is the fact that when I went to University of Maryland, I realized that the emphasis was on the training, but not necessarily on the support after the training. So that's why when I was building Yellowtail Tech, I wanted to put the emphasis on the relentless career support, because what I experienced in college is that there's a lot of help, there's a lot of courses, there is a lot of emphasis on graduating. But once you graduate, um, really the career support was very vague, very almost non-existent. So that's why when I built Yellowtail Tech, we wanted to have relentless, and the key word here is relentless career support. So not only resume writing, go uh, back again, back a few slides. When I talk about career support, I don't only mean helping you with your resume, I also mean helping you position yourself. Because uh, once you transition into tech, you're going to have to reinvent yourself as a professional. So you're going to have to reposition yourself on the marketplace. So that's why LinkedIn optimization, repositioning yourself is very important. So we have that. We make sure we put emphasis on that. We have a lot of mock interviews, meaning not only we help you get ready, but we actually do a lot of mock interviews with you. That way, when you go to the marketplace, the mistakes you are making them with us instead of in front of your interviewer. That would give you a better chance in the marketplace. And we also use a platform called Hunter for job search optimization, just to give you a place to actually organize your job search. All these things and then some, and then so much more is what we mean when we talk about career support. By the way, as I'm speaking, if you have any questions, you can start dropping them in the chat. I'm gonna introduce you to our guest soon, and we're gonna have a chat. And some question I'm gonna be able to answer. Some question our student or alumni is gonna be able to answer a little better. But when I talk about job optimization, what I mean is having a platform that helps you organize how you move through your job search process. Because I have to tell you, I have to be transparent. This is the part that is most difficult. The training itself is challenging, but it's very well organized, right? And even the certification, you study for it, you go sit for the certification, you either pass, you don't pass, you take it again, and you make it happen. But the job search is very much a numbers game. Not only numbers game, but you have to be organized into what it is you are doing when it comes to job search. So having your job search optimized is very important. Next slide. So these are the things that you have access to. You have an activity dashboard. You see where all your application, at what stage they are, understand and who, what company is replying to you, understand when to do follow-ups, and all those things. All are part of the job search optimization. Next slide. And we do a little bit of job curation. So we don't um, offer job placement. What we do is not only we support you in your job search process, but we also do a bit of job curation to put jobs that you should be considering applying on a board. That way we help you with the process as well. But we definitely do not do the work for you. And we also encourage you to personalize your profile on our platform. That way, if a recruiter reaches out to us, because we work with several recruiters, we can actually hand them your personalized profile for them to consider for a job. Next slide. So we are very excited. We are introducing two big pieces in the program this year. We are very excited about that, which is Ansible Automation and YT Genius. And what is Ansible? Ansible is just a powerful automation tool that simplify IT management. I'm sure it's not the first time you hear the word automation. This is where the world is moving. Even if you know Linux, knowing how to automate your workload is going to be very important, and not only learning, but positioning yourself for your next job. It offers so basically, we chose Ansible because of some features. First, it's a Red Hat product. We wanted to stay within the Red Hat ecosystem because we believe in going deep instead of wide. The more you are specialized in an area, the more you are relevant to the marketplace. So we stuck with um, a Red Hat product called Ansible because there are many automation tools out there, but Ansible is very interested for many reasons, including because it's agentless, meaning agentless architecture means that it doesn't require that you install a software on all the servers that the that the software is talking to. So it's agentless, and also the way you speak to the software is very well, just like you speaking to Chat GPT. It's declarative language. So the tasks are, it's like you are speaking to someone. So if you want, for example, if you want to deploy uh, a change in one of the servers, you literally write deploy a change in server number 10, for example. So it uses declarative language. It's very intuitive. It's agentless. Next slide. Uh, and also, it's important for companies to understand that an automation tool, because they really rely on that for the consistency of their platform, and the modules and roles. There's a big library and a big not only network, but a big a big population of people, of users and professional using Ansible. So you're gonna find a lot of support uh, um, on the internet and forums, and you're gonna find a vast library of pre-built module to be able to actually build your task. So it's not a situation where you're gonna have to break your head and come up with everything yourself. So this is a way to make it very um, attractive to people who are not who doesn't have years of experience in the marketplace. Next slide. So this is how our student journey is going to look like starting in January. So you're gonna get your core training, which is Linux, a Linux training and Network Plus. So and then you're gonna go into Cert Prep. You're gonna come out with a RHCSA and a Security Plus. The Security Plus, I want to make sure you know it's mostly because we want to position you for GovTech positions. And as you know, maybe you don't, but um, most GovTech jobs they require Security Plus, not necessarily as a technical requirement, but as an administrative and security requirement. So now we train you for and we require a Security Plus. So you come out with red RHC, becoming RHCSA, Red Hat certified, and you come out with a Security Plus. If you already have the Security Plus, great, we give you a credit for it. But if you don't have it, it's very important to put it under your belt because we are always looking at what the marketplace is asking for and making sure we introduce it in our program to better position our students. And then we move you into apprenticeship. After the core apprenticeship and career coaching, you have two options. You go in the Ansible automation route before you hit the job market, which is what we not only encourage, but this is already included in your tuition, or you go straight to the job market. Of course, if you go the Ansible route, it's going to take you a few more months, but you're going to come out a more solid candidate for the job market. But if you go the other route, you hit the job market, let's say you get a job and then you want to come back for Ansible automation, you will pay. So it's only part of your program. You only um, do not pay if you take it before you hit the job market. It's really a way to incentivize you to be as ready as possible before you hit the job market. Let me know if that makes sense. So next slide. Another thing I'm super excited about, it's not as big in terms of addition as the Ansible track, but I'm really excited about it. It's called YT Genius. It's a AI-powered learning companion that we designed to help to enhance, not to replace anything we do, to enhance the learning experience of our students. So basically, it's not Chat GPT rebranded. It's a AI platform that we built that we had it ingest all our training, all our material. That way, it can support you specifically around your studies at Yellowtail Tech. It's super interesting. It's a way for truly to help you uh, make the most out of the program. It's included. Of course, we're gonna launch it at the end of January, probably early February, and it's gonna be a beta. We're gonna, of course, have a group of students be the testers of the first version before we release it to all our students. So if you are interested, if you're starting in January and you're interested in being one of the first students to test and to give us feedback about YT Genius, you will get an occasion to actually put in your interest. Next slide. So basically, what YT Genius is going to do is help you with prompt engineering. We're going to have a lot of training around prompt engineering to be better at getting the most out of a large language model uh, like YT Genius, or in whatever you learn to apply at on YT Genius will help you on Chat GPT, on making the most on Chat GPT, Bard, you name it. So prompt engineering is very important, and it's also going to be very important when you hit the job market. It's going to help you explore different sections to build well-rounded skills. It's going to help you quiz yourself to make sure you solidify your knowledge. And also, it's going to help you be able to return to some areas that you don't necessarily master and go deeper and get the insights you need. So that's what YT Genius is going to be here to do. Again, enhance, not replace anything we currently have. Next slide. All right, so we're gonna welcome Oliver and Dylan. Welcome, guys.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you for joining, guys. I'm Oliver, and I'm from New Jersey. I'll start there before Julia gives me a moment to kind of describe my
Oliver, let's start with you. Tell us a little bit about yourself, how you stumble on Yellowtail Tech, what are you up to, what do you do besides Yellowtail? Tell us as much as you'd like about for people to learn a little bit about you.
So again, good evening, everybody. Thank you for being here. My name is Oliver. I actually stumbled upon Yellowtail Tech through this person who's in tech. Probably everyone might be familiar with this person. Her name is Simone.
Simone
Um,
B. Okay.
Simone Beast, that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was following her for a while, and she actually recommended Yellowtail Tech. I went ahead and did my own research on it. I reached out to one of the people who helped do the
Roman
launch,
advisor.
right, the Roman advisor. I spoke to them and I signed up. And if there's one thing I can say is that this program is very thorough and detailed. And if it's something that I remember you saying was, trust the process, because there's a lot of us who joined this program and probably have no idea what Linux is, right? And we don't know anything about this. But if you trust the process and you follow along, you're gonna be very successful at the very end. So again, I joined Yellowtail Tech last year in April, and I finished a Linux for Jobs program in November.
Hmm.
And then I took the RHCSA, I'm sorry, the Red Hat Certified System Admin cert. I took it the following month. Unfortunately, I did not pass the first time. And I want to make a big emphasis on this for you guys who are listening. If you don't pass the first time, I'm here to tell you it is okay. But what you should do is definitely reach out to the Yellowtail Tech team and let them guide you, kind of, let them know where you had issues, and let them help you out so that this time when you take that second approach, you'll pass this time. You don't want to make the mistake of trying to rush and take it again without fixing those issues. So again, I had to take it twice, but fortunately I did pass, and I'm currently right now getting ready to start the apprenticeship.
Yes.
So that's right now.
And with your voucher route, you have the way Red Hat sets it up now. You have a free retake.
That's correct. So if you purchased a voucher to take the exam, you do get a free take. And this is as recent as last month. So I took it
Yes.
last month, and I
So it's to tell you that they even it's not that they expect you to fail, but it's not an easy exam, and some people don't pass the first time. So
that's
you will have a retake built into your voucher.
right, right.
All right. Now let's go to Dylan. Tell us, man, who are you? What are you up to? Talk to us.
Hey,
Where
what's
are you
going on, y'all?
calling from? Saka.
Saga Fat, what's going on, everyone? My name is Dylan, and I'm gonna give a big, just say a big thank you to everybody that's here. Big shout out to Jubee for putting together this amazing program. And a little bit about me. I was part of the AWS Cloud for Jobs program, and how I found out about Yellowtail Tech was from what Oliver said through Simone. I'm actually part of her Discord. Thorough individual, and I respected her.
Oh yeah.
Now, to be completely frank with you guys, this wasn't my first tech boot camp. Before this, I was part of another boot camp and things kind of went sour. So I was like a little bit jaded. But however, I knew that I seriously needed to make a change in my life and really take life by the horns because I was interested in tech and I knew I needed a way out essentially. So did some more research. I reached out to somebody I looked to as a mentor. His name is Joe. He actually works for Red Hat, and he was like, "Hey, Dylan, you got to go with Linux or AWS, depending on your interests. Pick your thing." So I decided to go with cloud because I was naturally interested in cloud. But something I do want to say about this program is you're honestly going to get, like, what you get out of it is what you put in. And I'm not trying to scare nobody away, but there are going to be some people that's going to fall off by the wayside. But it's something that really stood out to me, that really helped me finish this program, was I locked in with five individuals, and we literally studied every single day to get this knowledge and to apply ourselves to, because we wanted something more. We wanted something better out of our lives. So I think if you're really serious about changing your life and taking advantage of this opportunity, I would really say, hey, lock in for an entire year, study 2 to 3 hours a day, not just on Tuesdays and Thursdays, not just on the weekends, and really
That's the
apply
question
yourself.
right here that I was about to answer.
And really apply yourself. But outside of tech, right? I like watching anime. I like going to the gym. I like playing basketball. I'm currently a POS engineer at Disney, so I help troubleshoot all the point of sale kiosk throughout all the parks, and then the cloud infrastructure that the POS system use is AWS. So I fit
Yeah,
right in.
cool. But to answer actually a question I saw here, 6 months for Linux, how many hours a week and how many days a week? Let me have Oliver answer that, because I think
So
right into what Dylan just said.
right. So as far as the Linux for Job goes, so the very beginning of the program, you're gonna have a networking portion. It's not, you'll start with Linux first and then head into the networking portion. But at least for the Linux part, is 3 days a week. My particular program, it was on Mondays. Yet Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I believe, or Mondays and Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm sorry if I can't remember, but it's definitely 3 days a week. But definitely studying outside of those hours was very important to your success, and take advantage of the weekend sessions. Yellowtail Tech does offer those weekend sessions, and let me tell you guys, it's a great time to take advantage of it, because you might be in a cohort where there's more than 30 or 40 of you guys, and not too many people take advantage of those weekend sessions, and you'll be able to be in that session with a group of maybe 5 or 6, and you might get you're probably not probably you will get your question answered, and you can actually take your time with the instructor, and just kind of give them a feel where you are so far in the program. And again, it's very beneficial to your success of the program. But again, roughly about, I was putting in maybe 10, 12 hours outside of what we already were doing in the classroom or the
So,
session.
so basically, the rule of thumb is 1 to 2 hours a day, and then a little more on weekends if you can. That's it.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's nothing ridiculous, but it requires consistency, though.
Right.
So it's not about the amount of hours, really. It's about how consistent and committed you are for the process. For example, Dylan said it. Yeah, it's a Linux for Job is a 6 months program, but it's a 1 year commitment, because after you done with the program, you have to sit for the certification. You have to go to the apprenticeship. You have to sit with Courtney and get your resume put together. You have to go through mock interview. So really, I always tell people you have to budget a full year for that transition. I'm here to sell you what really is the deal. You see what I mean? And another thing you said, which I agree, it's work. I'm here to sell you, something that is gonna require commitment. And I don't want people to come in and they think they can just glide their way, BS their way through, and they say, oh, go on the other end and say, oh, where's the job you promised? It doesn't work like that. And if it did, I would probably be charging you $40,000. It requires a lot of commitment on your end, and I want to make sure I attract the right students that have the right commitment to the process. So it's very important to say that. Um, yeah. I saw another question. Oh yeah, there's a question that says, "Do you need to go through both programs to get Lin a job?" No, you choose Linux for jobs or Cloud for jobs. Um, they are intentionally separate, but most people go with the Linux for Jobs program, especially now we have the Ansible track. And by the way, this is starting with the students starting in January. Um, Let me see. Any other question? For people new to Linux, way more than 2 hours a day may be needed. Yes, between, especially when you're starting, um, as you get, your footing, that may be the case. That's true. But once you get your footing and you're going through the motion, the consistency of how you practice and how you keep up with the material is more important than spending more than 2 hours, more than 3 hours a day. Because at one point, it doesn't make any incremental difference. It's about keeping the pace steady and studying towards the certification. All right. Hey, Ricky, what's going on, man? Linux system administrator in high demand, yes, especially in the government sphere. That's why we are trying to do a pivot towards GovTech, and encouraging people to also acquire the Security Plus to open up the market to the GovTech space that has a lot of jobs being going on filled, because not only they need the skill, they need the Security Plus, and they need you to be clearable. And by clearable, that means you don't have any felonies, you don't have any terrible credit, and also you are an American citizen. So if you are clearable, you have a Security Plus, you have RHCSA, and you know Ansible, you are good for the marketplace. Um, Average salary of the graduate, I can tell you it's above uh, 75 to 80,000, Kimberla, but it really varies. And I think not only it varies from job to job, it varies from state to state where you got that job. For example, if you got a job offer in New York City versus North Carolina, it's different. Or if you got it from North Carolina versus California, it's very different. But you're looking at mid 80s. And another thing, Kimberly, the other thing that affects your jobs, your salary, is how well you did in the interview. Two people might get an interview. One gets offered $80,000. One gets offered 90,000, because they might slot you for junior or mid-level system administrator according to how well you present yourself, how much you present yourself as knowing about the subject. So it's a very tricky question to ask. That's why we don't make income claims specifically for that. But I can tell you for a fact, your second job in the space will be six figures or more. But your first job, we optimize more to actually help you break in. So sometimes you're gonna break in at 79, at 85, at 89, depending on your positioning on the marketplace. Hopefully that answers. I still have a 9 to 5 job and I cannot leave yet. Will it be okay to join the program? Yes, the program. I don't know. Do you have a 9 to 5, Oliver?
So my hours are literally 8 to 4:30 p.m. So 9 to 5 basically, and I was able to tackle on the program given that classes did start at 7.
Yes. So yes, it is intentionally designed for people not only with no IT background, but with real jobs, real families, real responsibility. So it's built for that. We only have classes in the evening, support on weekends specifically for that. Can you touch on different option on paying for the course? You can pay cash, preferably, but also we have several financing partners that we deal with, depending on your credit, on your on many on a host of things. But we have an option for you, Nick. This should be the least of your worries. Your first thing you should decide, Nick, is that the right program for you? Do you have the time not only to show up to class? Do you have the time to commit to the process? Do we have a year to commit to the process? If all this says yes, we'll find a way to help you finance the program. Okay. Are the test fees included? No, they are not included. Brandy, they are not included in the program. But once in a while, Red Hat offers a discount on the vouchers. And also, it's been 6 months that Red Hat includes a retake as part of the voucher. So, but no, it's not included in the cost of the program. And someone asked how much longer the Ansible track adds to the program. It adds 2 months to the program, just to be clear. Okay. And Kimberly, I could not tell you what the monthly payment would be. It depends on your down payment. It depends on the financing option you go with. It depends on so many things. What I suggest you do, Kimberly, if you're super interested, is the team is gonna put a link, and then you could book a 10-minute call with one of our enrollment advisors and then go from there. Most of these Linux and AWS cloud positions remote? Yes, 90% remote. And if it's not remote, it's hybrid. Dylan, what's your situation?
So my situation with Disney is I actually am on site, and my goodness gracious, I am on site with Disney.
You're on site?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, you are one of the very few people who work on site.
Mhm.
But the marketplace in general, I have some people, especially in the government, they are required to go 1 to twice a week. So it's usually a hybrid or a remote setup in general. But yeah, that's what it is now. But it depends on where you get your first job, man. Your first job might be in person, and then you switch up after 6 months. I'm sure. Yeah.
I don't mean to cut you off, Jubee, but like while I was in the when I was initially in the boot camp, like getting like my learning in, I first started out at a help desk, and that was horrible, but I was happy that I took advantage of Linux, and then months after, that's when I like upgraded and got a better job. So that's all I wanted to add, Jubee. That's all.
Yeah. So it's about getting in. It's about breaking in. So it's not that you're gonna get your first job and it's gonna be the best job. Actually, your first job, you shouldn't stay in it for more than a year. You should not, unless you love the job. You are. And by the way, I really preach against being comfortable too fast. That happens with people. Let's say they're making $35,000, 35 or $45,000 a year, and then they get their first job and they're making 95, because they had such a big jump in income. They automatically get complacent. While the marketplace, if you keep upskilling, the marketplace can bear $200,000. But of course, on a span of 3-4 years and a few job changes, a few more certifications. But I really warn people that your first job is just to get in the field, situate yourself, add an additional set of skills, bounce, and get your next job. That's how I would do it. Merway, which course has the highest job demand? I just really recommend people to start with Linux because of a few things. Not only it's easier to learn, it's easier to land a job with Linux and then switch over after that. But there are jobs in cloud. It's just that the jobs in cloud, they really require a lot, which is definitely doable. But it would definitely, if you are on the fence deciding which way to go, I would just go with Linux. Because don't forget, and Dylan, you can tell them, AWS is built on Linux. So when it's time to go for cloud, you will still leverage what you've learned in Linux for Jobs anyway. So nothing will be lost. You will just be a bigger, better, more prepared candidate for the next job, if that makes sense. We are well above 30 minutes, and I promise to keep this short. Thank you, Oliver. Thank you, Dylan, for coming. And yeah, man, if you have any more questions, please reach out to our enrollment support team. Our team here, can you put a link in the chat? Maybe a few people I see here, Kimbala, could make use of it and talk to one of our enrollment advisors. And then we go from there. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you, guys, for taking, almost an hour out of your night.
No worries.
Here. And have a great evening.
Thank you too, Jubee. Dylan, nice meeting you, man. You guys, good luck.
All right.
Take care.
Bye-bye.